My name is Wang, and I was come from China. I think I have Han ethnic cultural background. In China, there are more than 56 minorities. Even Han people, they do have different kind of culture. Because Han people in this country, the history can go back more than 5,000 years. And I was born in Beijing, but I was growing in Nanjing. Is a big city. Nanjing is a culture city, and especially the traditional music and instrumental music is very popular there. I was growing in an artist family. My daddy was an engineer, and my mother is a librarian. But actually, I love the Chinese traditional opera. So one day, I taught Chinese opera in a school. That time, I don't remember that time. I was 7 years old, and there are people. He is the leader of called Little Flower Children Ensemble, and he talked with the principal. He said, we wanted this guy to join our group. So then I started my arts life and music life. I remember I learned of the instruments with a couple teachers, and all those teachers to me, as most as the same. Not only tell you how to play the music, and that also tell you how to be a good musician, how to be a good person, and how to set up a good relationship with people. So maybe that's the Chinese culture and the Chinese tradition. They always tell you how to be a good person. And that I remember that time my teacher don't charge me, so everybody is poor, no money. So I remember I just bring some fruits to him, and maybe after 2 months, I'll buy some food, to him. He's very nice, and so I have a chance to learn the music and to learn different kind of styles of music, from my teacher. When you pick up a teacher, I think you not only learn the music, also the personal a happy thing, activities. So when I perform concert, anywhere, even the schools or for general audiences, I always give them, some cultural background, and tell them some stories about the music. Tell them the very simple, the background about the instruments. Everybody knows China is an old country, and the history go back 5,000 years. But actually, to me, I have many things that I need to learn because it's a long history. You cannot remember everything, and some instruments, the history can go back more than 9,000 years. So we will ask why we don't have the history, whereas the other 4,000 years history. And why we have the instrument. So that's a question. So I want to learn, and I want to explore more things I don't know. The teachers, I think, to me, is very important. It changed my life, actually, I can say. He, received an education is Western, and he got many ideas about the music, about instruments, so he teach me a lot of things. Not only to play an instrument, and also the culture. Some stories about the musicians, some stories about the instruments. When you learn a music with a teacher, not only learn the notes, also you need to learn the style, to learn some detailed things and the cultural background. So when I learned a different kind of music with him, he always tell me, this kind of music you should play that way. Why you should play this way? Because their language, their culture. is related with the music. So I think that to me is, you know, just like open my mind, you know. So that's why, you know, later I'm interested in different kind of music. You know, I collect folk music and I collect different kind of instruments. I think, you know, most music are related with religion. For example, now some musicians usually play in some temples, like for like Taoist music or Buddhist music. In China, usually they play the music not only for entertainment. You know, ancient time Chinese people, normal people, doesn't have the right to, you know, to enjoy that kind of music. So you know, the professional musicians only play for the emperor. Yeah. And we call it a court band. So you still can see many the bands play in the temples, and also the people, you know, play the bands for wedding, for funeral, and for festivals, for harvest, or for Chinese New Year. Yes, and but you still can find people playing, you know, for, you know, like a Taoist and Buddhist right now. Yeah. The teacher I learned, you know, he is a Chinese opera music player, and I think, you know, he also is very, very important to my music life. Right now, he is the only one can play more than 40 different kind of opera music, and I remember first time, you know, he asked me what instruments you want to learn, you know, because most people play the erhu, so yeah, I want to learn that one. In China, the most parents said, okay, you should concentrate on one instrument, not everything. You know, if you want to be, you know, if you want to be a famous musician. But I have a different thinking, you know, because I think if you can learn one instrument very good, maybe you can try different things, and you know, it will reach your you know, background, yeah, and to open your minds, can reach different kind of things, you know. So not only one instrument, you know. During the Great Cultural Revolution, and a lot of things are lost because that time, you know, people broken everything. They want to damage the culture too. You know? So I remember in 1980s, I interviewed many folk musicians, and I want them to sing some old songs. They don't want to do it because they don't want to hurt again, and like the Great Cultural Revolution. So then when they talk them, you know, a couple times, okay, you know, don't worry about, you know, everything's okay. You know, we will never see that kind of things happen again. Then they sing for us. I think this things to me is just it's a treasure. You know, it's more important than my house, than my money. Yeah, so you cannot find it again because those older musicians pass away, so you cannot ask them to sing again. In China, I think there are more than 400 different kind of instruments. Erhu is one of the popular string instrument in China. The history could go back more than 1,000 years. Erhu is my main instrument. I play this instrument more than 40 years. And also through I'm playing the erhu, I can play different kind of similar instrument like zhonghu or gaohu, jinghu, even the Mongolian instruments matoching. That's they play it in different way, but it's the same family, it's a string family. And so actually, the erhu bring me to a string world, so I can learn different kind of string instruments. This instrument in Mandarin, we call it ma tou qin. Ma tou means the horse head, qin means the instrument. In Mongolia, they call it hur or marine hur. And this instrument, I think the history, go back a couple thousand years. And it's a very important instrument to the Mongolian people. They use the instrument for singing, for self-entertainment, and for parade. So they use it for many things. So this instrument, I think, to me, I think it's very beautiful sound instrument. Yeah, I love the sound. It's very deep tunes, and they're a very beautiful melody. I like them very much. Yeah.
Once, a long time ago, during a horse race at a great festival in Mongolia, Su He and his white horse ran the fastest. The king, whose many horses all lost the race, was angry, and he commanded that Su He's horse be shot dead with arrows. When the horse died, Su He was very, very sad and could not recover from the loss. But in a dream, the horse came to Su He and told him to make a fiddle from the bones, skin, and hair of the horse, and to carve the head of the fiddle in the shape of a horse's head. That way, he could never be lonely. Su He got up immediately and made the fiddle, which is called morin hur in Mongolian and ma tou qin in Chinese. The fiddle produced an extremely vivid and mournful sound, but from then on, Su He played the fiddle and was never lonely again.